New year, true you, strengths examples here. So some of the previous ones I've done, I focused on what age that I was working with for a hypothetical situation. This time I'm going to focus on, say you're a mom, maybe even a dad, but a parent who's going to empty nest. And that's coming up on you, and you're trying to figure out what that looks like for you because you've just spent the last 18 to 20 to 25 years with kids in the house and focusing on others and taking care of everybody else. And now all of a sudden, you're going to have a whole new situation going on, and you have to learn to let go of the adult kids, let them try to navigate their life on their own. What does that look like? Because you're so used to being the center of everybody's universe, especially as mom, even as dad. And now they're going to have their own universe, and you have to figure out what life is going to look like for you. So we're going to talk about that in strengths fashion and see how their process of being natural and authentic. Now, you may think too, somebody at this age, of course, they understand that process and they know who they are, but not necessarily, especially when you let yourself be wrapped up in the other people in your life or possibly your career or whatever it might be. This is often a time that reflection starts coming in, and you're like, you know what? Who am I really? I'm not really sure what that actually even looks like anymore. And I don't even know if I really knew to begin with. So we're going to go through this hypothetical empty nester and see where the strengths fall for this person. So they have 5 relationship building strengths high, 3 executing, 1 influencing, and 1 strategic thinking. So they are all about connecting with the right people to get things done. So right there, you can already see like potential mom and that. And I'll let you know too, the strengths I'm grabbing random people's strengths who are previous clients of mine who do not fit the mold of what it is that I'm putting them with. So these are actually strengths of somebody in a completely different category of life, but it doesn't matter. They can all apply to any scenario. So that's why I'm having fun here, just grabbing random people's strengths and putting them in a scenario that resonates with a lot of us out there. So empty nester, here we go. Number 1, empathy. Boy, this person takes on everybody else's emotions. They're the person to go to when you just need to have somebody understand you and cuddle you and tell you it's going to be okay because they feel it right along with you. Maybe they get right involved in that drama though as well. Definitely have a hard time setting boundaries, and even more so keeping those boundaries. Often when you have empathy high, we say that you put the boundaries in the sand so that they can easily be moved. And one of the things that somebody with empathy, especially number 1, needs to work on is how to put the right boundaries in cement and learn to keep them there in a way to honor themselves. Because when you have empathy so high, you can feel so drained and so exhausted because of taking on everybody else's stuff. And it's either on top of your own or sometimes even in place of your own. So you've even lost touch with your own emotions because you're so busy feeling and taking on everybody else's emotions as well. So number two is individualization. So not only can they sense and feel your feelings and your emotions, but they understand that they're unique to you and they're unique feelings, and that they don't broad stroke it like, well, every teenager when they're in this situation goes through this, or every whatever. You're probably not going to hear that from this person. They're really going to focus in on you and what you've got going on and see the unique qualities in not only what you're feeling, but even what you desire in life too. They'll probably really understand you very well. And then comes in command. So you've got this super soft, nurturing, connected, I can go to you and I know you're going to get me. But then when things need to be done, boy, mama knows how to take charge and stuff gets done, and they're going to tell you about it. So number 3 is command as well. So sometimes you're like, I'm not sure which one I'm going to get here when you're dealing with it. But when you're this person, that's often like kind of a stressful situation for you as to being the person with this high empathy and high individualization, and you're focused on the unique. But then you're like, but I got to take charge, and I'm the only one who's going to get things done. And it's all up to me to make sure that we're doing this. And I have to be the one to tell everybody what to do. So this person is probably really exhausted, even though these are natural for them and they thrive when they're in this situation. They need to, again, set those boundaries. Number 4 is restorative. So problem solver right there. Hey, who do you go to usually when you have problems? It's so funny. I happen to pick this one out for a mom situation. Yeah, they solve your problems, right? They're very solutions oriented quite often, especially if maybe it's been a stay-at-home mom and this is what their job has been over the last 20 years, is to focus on how I can make other people's lives easier by coming up with a solution. Consistency. So even though they have individualization high and they see the uniqueness in things, when it comes to getting things done, they're all about the consistency. So maybe it's like, no, the dishwasher needs to be loaded like this, and the bathroom gets cleaned like this, and you put the laundry like this, and they have their whole systems and processes of how everything gets done. And maybe they're not so even focused, even though they're empty nesting, maybe they're very career oriented as well. And this person is all about like, okay, I can be lovey-dovey mom, but then when I'm at work, I take charge and I solve the problems and I follow the systems and I do all that stuff when I need to for my job or my career or my own business as well. So it can be very dynamic. It doesn't just apply to one scenario. And this consistency is their core compass strength. So this is what they really rely on to get them back up into feeling like they have that openness for the empathy, and they can get in and connect with you when they feel like, okay, yep, everything is in order. Now I have the capacity to do this. Adaptability is next. So they can go with the flow. They handle change really well. A lot of times I haven't dug into this too much with going through these because I'm just trying to do quick snippets here. I'm not trying to go as deep as I do when I work with the clients, because usually this process takes about an hour. But this can cause a control issue, and I'm going to leave it at that. This is something we can talk about later. You can reach out to me. But when you have adaptability high, you may have some issues with control as well. Relator, they're all about their people. Tight-knit, go deep, close bonds, real relationships. They're not necessarily open to everybody else having to know their business and be a part of things that are going on. It's all about us and our circle. Discipline. Here's our schedule, guys. This is what we need to do. This is what needs to get done. Again, that pairs really well with the consistency of, you know that you can rely on this person to show up and to make sure that things are getting done the right way. And it might drive you crazy if you don't have discipline high and you don't have consistency high, but you know that there's going to be an order to this household or this office or whatever it might be. There's going to be order established here. And analytical. They are all about the numbers and the measurements and the data and the statistics and analyzing things and breaking it down into smaller bite-sized pieces to be able to. They're very, very focused on that as well. So they have kind of that super empathy of that connection and that feeling, but also that focus on the data. And sometimes they might get caught up in like people are their numbers, and they might get a little focused on that. So if they're empty nesting, they might be worried about, okay, what does this look like? Because what am I now gonna not only do, but like, are my kids launching the right way? Are they taking care of themselves the right way? It might be really difficult for this person to let go because are you making enough money? Are you handling things the right way? Are you where you should be right now? They're still gonna kind of want to hover and be a part of all of that. It's going to be harder for them to potentially let go. And then harmony is high. They're the peacekeeper. So they may put like expectations on you, but they're going to want it and do it in a way that does not cause conflict. They want everybody to get along. Can we all just, for the sake of, kind of that type of person. So a lot of nice balancing strengths with this person as well, because you have that command high, but then you also have that resistance for conflict. So they're gonna manage the way that they take charge in a way that is kind of settling for everybody and not super harsh, because they don't want it to cause a big fight or a problem. They're gonna be able to mediate how things should be run. So this is the hypothetical empty nesting mom.